Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I am so pumped because today I'm actually doing my everyday makeup routine, which I've never done on my channel before, oddly enough. So I think it's about time 3 years in to do my everyday makeup routine. I want to keep this video pretty short because obviously like no one has a ton of time every day. So I'm just going to be going through the steps that I generally do every time I get ready. I'm not necessarily like gonna throw on foundation every time I get ready or every time I'm going out. That's not like, you know, a big deal. So I'm gonna keep it pretty light. I do have some fun products to show you that I actually really love and honestly cannot live without. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Alright, first things first, gotta get this hair out of my face. The first thing I like to do is actually my eyebrows, just because I know like if nothing else I want to have my eyebrows done, so if I run out of time, at least those are done. And this is actually really funny. I use a, this was never a used toothbrush. It was just an old toothbrush that we had sitting around in its box that no one used. And I actually got that trick from my mom. She's like, using a toothbrush for your eyebrows is like the best thing you could do. Totally agree. It's so helpful. Today I'm going to be using my NYX Taman Frame, which I talked about in my Best of Beauty 2017 video. Stuff is so good. Oh my gosh. I don't go too extreme with my eyebrows. I just try and go in its natural, you know, shape. And keep it pretty simple. I just want to like fill in the parts that that horrible lady at the mall jacked up my first time getting my eyebrows done. I literally, the spots that she screwed up have not grown back since I was, what was that, like 13 or 14? Thanks a lot, lady. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to do. Usually what I will do is, right in like this general area, I like to take foundation and put it there first, let it dry, do this section of my eyebrow, then come back and do the front section. But I will show you the foundation I use. Alright. And that's about how I do my eyebrows. I'm probably gonna skip this next one because I don't need to see it twice. I know you're probably like, get on with it. Question of the day. What music have you been loving? I would love to know, like specifically the artist. That wasn't quite clear when I said it. The next thing we're going to do is eyes. The big thing for me is actually just like bringing some definition to my eyes, because sometimes they can look really flat and kind of sad, you know, like you didn't really do anything. So what I like to do is take my Flower Beauty foundation. This is in the shade LF3, and oh, so good, so good. This I got for $7 at Walmart, and this is the About Face foundation. This is like pretty, maybe like medium coverage? It might not even be medium, I don't know honestly. I've only really ever used full coverage foundation, so for me I'm like, light, medium, same thing. I'm just kind of priming my eyelid, if you will. I never use eyelid primer, I think it's a joke, but I do like to just kind of even out the tone of my eyelid because I'm not going to be using eyeshadow all over it, so I try and get it as good as possible on the first go. That way I won't have to do a whole bunch of touch-ups or use a whole bunch of shadow, because shadow is the thing that will totally consume all of your time. Another thing to point out, the color of this foundation is fantastic. It honestly works so well for my skin tone. It's not like the perfect match, but it's definitely up there. Also, I think Flower is free of like a whole bunch of stuff. Let me see here. Yeah, basically it's free of a bunch of like really crappy products. Alright, where's my brush? Oh, there it is. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of the Coty Airspun powder and just set my eyes. I try not to use a whole bunch of this powder, honestly, because I only got it in my eye. Because it has talc in it, which is not your friend. So I try and limit my use, but it's pretty cheap and you get a lot of it. Since I don't use it every day, I don't think I'm gonna die from it. But if you are looking for a good like baking powder or something like that, they're all gonna have talc in them. They're all bad for you. So if you have to go with one, I do suggest that one. It's pretty darn good. Alright, now that my eyelid area is all evened out, I like to go in with this LA Colors, I think it's just it's like their pressed powder, so it's supposed to set your entire face, but I love this thing. It's $1. You can find it at Dollar Tree. Oh my gosh, this is like the perfect color. It's honestly pretty neutral. It's exactly like half and half yellow and pink, in my opinion. I just think this stuff works so well. It's pretty blendable. It doesn't have extreme pigment. Obviously, you don't want like a crap ton of pigment in a face powder, but I love just taking this in this general area and kind of giving my eyes a little bit of definition, because they can kind of all look one tone if you don't go ahead and kind of put a little something in the crease to define the two areas. Since I'm kind of doing a bit of like a chit-chatty situation here, oh my goodness. I know we talked about music for a second. Have you guys seen The Resident or The Good Doctor? Oh my gosh. The Good Doctor is the most amazing show on the planet. So good. Freddie Highmore, just absolutely incredible. And The Resident, I love. It has, you know, Logan Huntsberger from Gilmore Girls. Oh my gosh, I love it. So anyways, after I do that, I am gonna go ahead and just take a tiny bit of one of the colors from this Illuminate palette by Ashley Tisdale from BH Cosmetics. And I usually like to go, my like everyday, without fail, my everyday color from this palette is definitely, I'm gonna try and hide this bad boy right here. So good. When I don't do a whole lot of makeup, I like to use one of these two right here. They're really nice. They don't have extreme pigment. They're not like blinding you shiny. So I like to take a little bit of the darker color and just kind of put that in the middle and on the corner. You literally, this is how much I'm using, barely anything. But it does just kind of add a little something extra to the eye look, and it takes a whole second and a half. After that, I like to do mascara. And one of the things I think is the biggest like must do when you're not wearing a whole lot of makeup is to wear a mascara that really emphasizes your lashes. I actually got this little tester of They're Real by Benefit, and I love it. It is so good, and I don't even need to curl my lashes when I use it. I think the effect of the mascara actually is diminished when I do curl my lashes, so oh, I love this stuff. It's so good. I will just usually take it like this. And you do have to be careful. This is an extremely wet mascara. Like, this thing will go everywhere if you're not super careful. And I think I just got some on the bottom of my eye. So I do recommend looking down and doing this whole situation when you use it, if you've never used it before. If you do get any kind of like clumpage or anything like that, I love taking an old mascara wand that I've washed off and cleaned, and I just use that to kind of separate the lashes and make them, you know, sit the way that I'm looking for. This mascara is kind of funny. It can be a little temperamental. I don't know if anyone else has had the same issue. In my opinion, it can be a little funny, but the effect is so nice. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Be temperamental, because you're a superstar. Okay, now you can kind of see my eyes are definitely more defined, and that's one of the major things that really pulls the look together, in my opinion. So after that, I usually like to go ahead and put my foundation on, which, like I said, I'm not going to be doing today. It's not anything revolutionary. I literally just use a good old Real Techniques beauty sponge, and I like to use the same Flower Beauty foundation that I used on my eyelids. One thing I really like to do before I head out the door is put perfume on, and obviously I'm more of an all-natural person, so that is usually what I tend towards. And right now I've actually been using the Addictive Cosmetics Hula Girl perfume, and I mentioned this in my last video. This stuff is awesome. It's from an Etsy company, or at least I found them on Etsy, but this is actually fantastic because it stays on for forever. It will not go anywhere. And I've actually been using it with the Wake Me Up All Natural Face and Body Moisturizer. So this one smells more like a tangerine / orange scent. And then this one is totally like coconut, pineapple, mango, summer in a bottle type thing. So that's actually really nice together, and you smell nice and your hands are soft. So it's pretty great. One thing I found out when I got my order is you can actually get a free eyeshadow if you hashtag your purchase picture on Instagram with hashtag Addictive Cosmetics, and you can get a free eyeshadow. So there you go, freebie of the day. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and check back next week for a new video. Bye!